Have you ever wondered why some engineers swear by top-down mixing? Do we even know the difference between top-down and bottom-up? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video, and if you're ready to go take a look, let's go. Hey, if we haven't met yet, my name is Donnie Baker. I'm with ES Audio Recording Studios in Los Angeles, also the founder of Learn Pro Recording. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is I'm going to show you an excerpt of a masterclass from our community, from our membership, and it explains what top-down mixing is compared to bottom-up mixing. Now, I did a little search, I did a little Google search the other day to find out if somebody made a video about what it is. I know people talk about how to do it, but to compare the two between top-down, what it is, and bottom-up, what it is, and to you decide which one is right for you and your mixing style. I prefer, personally, I'm a top-down mix. I've always been that way, and I think that's because I come from the live world. I started in audio business. I started in my audio career mixing live, front of house, some monitors, but mostly front of house. I toured for 13 years as a mixing engineer, and I think live, for me, live is all top-down. I mean, I start with the overall sound, get the band to play the song, and mix along the way. That's how I learned. That's my mindset on how it works. And so I wanted to explain to you the difference between top-down and bottom-up. I hear a lot of people talk about bottom-up mixing. For me, that doesn't make any sense. Starting with a kick drum, I mean, I know what a kick drum is. I know where it's supposed to go in reference to everything else. I want to hear everything as I'm doing it. So let's go take a look at this excerpt from a masterclass I did for my community members, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a little bit. Top-down versus bottom-up mixing. Okay, here we go. Top-down mixing, you start at the big picture first. You shape the mix from the mix bus and the groups. You apply EQ and compression and processing that affects the whole track. Then you can work your way down into stems and individual tracks if needed or as needed. Bottom-up mixing means you start small and build up. You shape the mix by working on individual tracks first. You start with the kick, then the snare, then the bass, then the vocals, then blend everything together to create the final balance. Think of it like this. Top down is painting with broad strokes first. Bottom up is detailing one piece at a time. What is bottom up mixing? Let's take a closer look. Bottom up mixing is an approach where you start your mix with the individual elements, the kick, the snare, the bass, the vocal, etc., and gradually build the balance track by track. Instead of setting broad strokes on the mix first, like in top-down mixing, you focus on shaping each sound on its own and stacking them until the full mix comes together. Think of it like building a house from the foundation up. You start with the drums and then the rhythm section, which is the foundation. Then you add the bass and supporting instruments, the structure. Then you can layer in the melodies and harmonies and effects like the walls and the roof. Finally, polish with automation, EQ tweaks, and mastering touches, the paint and the finish. Bottom-up mixing, here's the traditional approach to bottom-up mixing. You start with individual tracks. You build the mix track by track. Start with one element, often the drums or the vocals, getting it to sound really good, and then add the other instruments one by one. And here's the pros. You have precise control over every element, good for complex arrangements where every detail matters. It's easier for beginners to understand step by step. Here's the cons. It's time consuming. You can get stuck tweaking small details. Your mix might lose cohesion if you don't keep the big picture in mind, and you risk of over-processing each track. Here's what it looks like. You got your individual tracks that mix into the bus level, that mix into the master fader. What is top-down mixing? Think of it as opposite. Top-down mixing is a workflow approach where you start shaping the overall mix from the top level, the mix bus or the group buses, before diving into detailed adjustments on individual tracks. Instead of building a mix track by track from the ground up, you make broad strokes first, then refine. Here's how it works. You start by adding EQ, compression, saturation, or limiting on the mix bus, the master channel. This sets the tone or the glue of the mix early. Apply processing to instrument groups like all the drums, all the vocals, all the guitars before tweaking individual tracks. Then you can go in and fine-tune tracks if you feel like you need to. Once the big picture feels right, go into the details of the individual tracks. A good way to think about this is that instead of painting each blade of grass, you paint the landscape first and then add the details. Top-down mixing. Here's where you start. You start at the mix bus or the master bus or the 2 bus, however you want to call it, and then the group buses. The workflow, you set the overall vibe first. Man, you make it sound good. You first apply EQ, compression, tone shaping at the master and the group levels, then tweak the individual tracks if needed. Here's the pros, man. You get a faster workflow, you get a polished mix quicker, it creates a cohesive glued sound early on so you feel better about mixing. It forces you to think about the whole mix, not just the individual sounds. And here's some cons. It's less detailed control in the beginning. You risk of baking in a sound that's harder to change later. Can feel tricky if you're not confident with bus processing. You start at the master fader, you go to the bus level, then you go to the individual tracks if needed. When to use each of these? Okay, the bottom up, if you're new to mixing and you're just trying to learn the basics, great. This is for detailed projects where every track needs close attention. When you're mixing genres with a lot of layers like orchestral or EDM. Top down, if you need to work fast and efficient. For projects where vibe and cohesion matter more than micro detail. When you want a pro sound quickly. In short, bottom up equals microscope, detail first. Top down equals telescope, the big picture first. This has been an LPR Sound Foundation presentation, brought to you by ES Audio Services, Burbank, California. Copyright 2025, LPR ES Audio. So hopefully you got something out of that, the excerpt, and now you have a better understanding, or at least a sort of understanding about what the difference between top-down and bottom-up mixing. It makes a difference in your mix. It makes a difference in how long your mix takes to complete. It takes, for me, top-down is my preferred way. I very rarely do a bottom-up mix. I generally just bring the tracks in, press play, and start blending, start panning, start getting my song to sound good. Now, I do have a template that I start with, and that template has subgroups or buses, and then those route right into a master bus that has stuff on the master. I have plugins on my master bus. Actually, you can see it behind me, the analog console. And on my analog console, on my master bus, I have a SSL Bus Plus that's always on. It's always plugged in. It's always ready to go. Just because when I want to mix, I just throw a mix up. Even if I'm mixing in the box and I'm only using channels 1 and 2, I'm still going to the Bus Plus through the master fader. It's just it makes my mixes feel good. It just, you know, when your mix gets to a point, you're like, yeah, that's it. Your mix is done. Or very close to it. You know, I don't go in and microscopically add plugins to little tiny things. I go do an overall blend. And that's just my style. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it. This is not a instructional video on how to do the thing. I just explained what they are. You can make your own choices. Hey, and if something like this does excite you or make you want to know more, we have a mix challenge coming up on September 22nd. It's called the Minimal Mix Challenge. I'll put a link to it right here. It's a 5-day challenge, which is not about actually going in and mixing. It's more of a mindset on how you approach mixing and how you go about mixing and how you get mixing done faster, better, more efficiently. You use less plugins. So it actually sounds, for me, it sounds better. And I can't wait to explain it. I'm really excited about the Minimal Mix Challenge coming up. So we'll see you there. I'll put a link to it down below. I'll put a link in the show notes in case you're listening to me just on Apple or Spotify or whatever. If you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, I'll leave it in the show notes there for you. So just go check it out. Click, check it out. While you're down there, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. There's a lot of cool stuff coming, a lot of cool stuff in the past that you can go look at. There's like 3 years worth of videos in there, and I like doing it. So I like giving it to you. So hey, if you do want to take a quick challenge, I'll leave a link to a mix right here that you can go download the files, do the mix on your own. Do it however you want. Do a top down, do a bottom up. It's up to you. We'll see you next time on the channel. Donnie Baker, I'm out.